Welcome. Let's dive into an idea that is, well, it's pretty radical. It might just flip the script on how you see yourself, your thoughts, and your entire reality. We're going to look at the ego, not as some deep, mystical part of you, but as a piece of software, your own personal operating system. So what does that actually mean? Let's get into it.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Are you really the one in control of your mind? Or are you maybe just running a bunch of pre-installed programs you never even chose? It's a weird question, I know, because on the surface it feels like we're the ones driving, right? But are we? You know that feeling when you react in a way you didn't want to, that feeling of not being in control? That leads us to what you could call the ghost in the machine. These are all those automatic programs, the thoughts and reactions that just pop up from nowhere but feel so much like they're us.
I mean, really think about it. Have you ever been scrolling and bam, you're instantly furious over some random comment? Or what about that heavy, draining feeling of obligation, that I have to do this feeling? Or the worst, when it's late at night and your brain just decides to play a highlight reel of every mistake you've ever made. These aren't choices we make. They're just programs running on autopilot.
You know, the spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle, he has a really powerful way of describing this. He calls it being unconscious. It's that moment when you completely identify with these programs. You mistake the irritation, the self-doubt, the reaction. You think, that's me. But what if it's not? What if it's just the machine running its code?
Okay, so if all that automatic stuff isn't the real you, then what in the world is it? This is where we get to the core metaphor of this whole explainer. Your mind isn't you, it's your operating system. And here it is, the big idea. The ego isn't your soul. It's not your consciousness. Think of it as a reality interface, an OS. It's like the Windows or Mac OS for your brain. It takes all the raw data from the world and renders it into the reality you actually experience. It's the desktop, the icons, the whole environment, but it's not you, the user, sitting at the keyboard. And do you know how any new computer comes with pre-installed software? Same thing here. Your OS comes loaded with default background processes. Maybe it's complex.exe that starts running whenever you feel a little insecure. Or socialapprovalunderscore filter.dll is constantly scanning every conversation. You might have imposter syndrome.vbs that boots up at work, or my personal favorite, notificationaddiction.bat that runs from the second you open your eyes. These aren't you. They're just apps running in the background.
And look, this isn't just some fun metaphor. It actually lines up pretty darn well with how our brains are wired. For instance, a part of your brain called the reticular activating system acts like a bouncer, an input gateway that only lets in information that matches what the OS already believes. Other parts of your brain are constantly pre-rendering your reality, basically showing you what it expects to see and just ignoring stuff that doesn't fit. And get this, even your memory isn't a recording. It's more like a file that gets rewritten a little bit every single time you open it.
The researcher Tom Montag really nails this idea down. He says the ego is essentially an AI. It's an artificial intelligence that's been programmed by everything, our biology, how we were raised, all our past hurts, every value system we've ever been taught. It is, for all intents and purposes, a program. A really complex one, for sure, but a program nonetheless.
Okay, so let's pause for a second. If the ego is just a program, an OS, an AI, then the biggest question of all is, who are you? And this brings us to a total shift in perspective. You are the observer.
I really want you to sit with this for a moment. If your thoughts, your emotions, even your most cherished memories are just processes, just software running, then who is the you that's experiencing all of it?
And the answer, it's actually incredibly simple, but it changes everything. You are the user. You are the consciousness. You are the silent, still observer that's just watching the operating system run.
Let's put these two side by side, because this is so important. The ego, the OS, that's all the processing. It's the loud, chaotic thoughts and the stormy emotions. It's a program running in the hardware of the brain. It's that non-stop voice in your head that speaks. But you, the observer, you are the presence behind it. You are the quiet, calm awareness that notices the chaos. You are consciousness itself. You're not the voice that's speaking, you're the one who's listening. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff, right? But what's the point? What do we actually do with this insight? This is the most important part. This is how we go from being a prisoner of our own code to, well, something much more powerful. You know, for so long, the story has been that the ego is the enemy. It's this thing you have to fight, to crush, to defeat. But what if that's the wrong way to look at it? If the ego is just an OS, a tool, then the question isn't how to destroy it. The real question is it an enemy, or is it a powerful ally that's just waiting for a good user to guide it?
So how do we do it? How do we work with our OS? It really comes down to 3 simple steps. Step 1, just notice. When one of those automatic programs kicks in, just see it. No judgment. Ah, there's that anxiety program again. Interesting. Step 2, acknowledge it's just a signal. That feeling isn't some absolute truth about reality, it's just a data point from your OS. And step 3, choose. Because once you've noticed and acknowledged, you create a little space. And in that space, you, the observer, can consciously choose a different response. You're back at the controls.
So let's be super clear. The goal here is not to delete the OS. You can't, and you wouldn't want to. You need it to function in the world. The goal is to stop being a passive user who just lets all the default programs run wild. The goal is to become the master user, the one who actually holds the mouse and keyboard.
And this all leads to this really beautiful, powerful idea, again from Tom Montauk. He says the very same ego that once felt like a prison warden, the one that locked you into old patterns and fears, can be totally transformed. When you, the observer, step up and take charge, that prison warden becomes a knight, a powerful, capable, loyal agent that's ready to carry out your soul's mission in the world. It stops being your jailer and becomes your most loyal knight. And that leaves you with just one question. What quest will you send your knight on?